Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Oh, perfect. Tell me also if the music is too loud, or maybe the microphone is not enough. At the moment there is no music around. So there is a problem with the guy. This guy is not sitting down there when it's starting, but is working the editor. I don't know exactly what the problem is. So you say that you are trying to let's remove the music. Stop the music. So you said you are trying to learn Russian, and are you just learning alone from home, or going to some school, academy, or something like that? Oh man, where is this guy already? It's here. Okay. Because Russian is quite difficult for us. It's really a difficult language. The first time I was just buying the book for the university for the first course, but I was not going to the university. I was buying this book, and then a few more just for sentences for traveling in Italy and so on, which was not helping much for me, being honest. But after I was just going to Russia, and I was living there for a few months, and then I was studying in the academy there, which was helping a lot living there. And after I was just going many times, I was living there for even years already. So right now it's like maybe 8 years already that I was just not going there every year, but quite often. And not living there, of course, but being most of the time there. I was also living in Latvia and Lithuania, and I was using Russian also in my job. So that's the reason I'm using Russian almost every day. So it's not a problem for me. But with computer, I'm using for English, and what I'm not using at all is Spanish. So it's or not much. I mean, I'm older, older than you, and I was just traveling a lot, working in different countries, and living also in different countries. And then learning, I was also learning a few Polish when I was also living there, but it was like almost 20 years ago. And yeah, also I born in a small town close to the border with Portugal, so I understand Portuguese. Also, it's not a problem. Even for us, it's not so different. And yeah, for example, living with some Italian guys, so I was just also learning a few things. Yeah, but the thing is, for us, all the languages like Spanish, French, English, not German, but most of them, or Italian or something like that, they have exactly the same structure for the sentences and phrases and everything. So it's not so difficult. It's just to need to change some words, translate word, it makes the same sentence. But for Russian it's also the same, like German is like all Latin, so the sentences are not made like we are doing right now, and then you need to use they have these cases like Latin for dative, locative, and so on, so you need to make the sentence a bit different. But that's the main reason that it's so difficult, and not only about the letters, but how you make all the sentences completely different. So it means you need to think about this. Well, the first thing is I was just growing in a really small town. There is nothing to do there. There's no job, nothing. So I was just studying there, and after that I need to move. So I was just going to another town not so far for work, and then just moving to another one, and then moving to another bigger one. And also with computers, you need to be in bigger cities. You cannot working as with computers in really small towns. There's nothing to do there. So that's the reason that I was just moving. And after that, you can just learn some English. It's enough for you to travel and work in another country. So, and it's not like I was deciding to go to some place for some reason, but just I don't know, found a job and then moving, and then find another job and then moving, and so on. So just things are happening, and then I'm just moving. So it was not my plan to go to some country and then I was just moving there, and not exactly like this. So it's not like my plan was traveling, but yeah, but the thing is, traveling you can meet much more people, and also it's not only traveling, but you can even in your own city living with different people from different countries. You can see how they live, what they think, and so on. So it's not only about traveling but it's about meeting people and see how they are living, you know. So I was just trying to living with student with Erasmus students, so from different countries, and then after that you have a few friends, and then you are meeting different people, and well, moving to another country is something sounds nice, but not everybody is speaking your language, so it's not so easy. For example, going to the shop, you don't understand the products, or for example the transport, looking for a flat or looking for a job is not so easy. So not everybody is speaking English. Well, if you are going to England, it's the only reason, but going to any other country is not like that. So it's not so easy. Sounds nice, but initially it's a bit hard, and you feel completely alone. Not so easy. For example, not so easy making friends, and so on. So it's not so easy as it seems. But well, if you are going, for example, to London, but it's English, so not a problem at all. And you have like thousands of, for our case, for example, Spanish people, so you can almost live there even not using English, and you can have a lot of friends and find places and so on. But they are so big city, and there are a lot of people there. But if you are going to any other city, not so big, or maybe with not so much foreigners, so it's not so easy to move, you know. And anyway, you are always foreigner, so you don't understand things. You are stupid for most of the people, because you even don't understand what they're saying. But yeah, you move and then try to learn things is always a positive experience, of course, but it's not so easy as it seems. What I was doing with this guy that is not working. So when sitting, I need to activate again this. But definitely you need to try this, and then go to some place and try a few things. There is nothing really that you can lose. I mean, it's not only about money, but nothing bad is happening. Of course, you are going to maybe some countries that are completely different, like us, for I don't know, from China, or even I don't know, south of Asia, are places that are really different for us. But going almost all Europe, everything is almost the same. We have already internet. You can call your family every day. You have, for example, Google Maps, that you can just travel around any city in the world. So Not really. I think I was 26%. I was even taking a plane because at this time the planes were also very expensive and you don't have a lot of low cost companies and so on. So it's not so easy to travel. But I was just starting, let's say later. Well, I was not living in my town already for 8 years. So when I was 18, I was just living and then going to other places and so on. But well, as I said, it's much easier now that in the past you go to some country and you are sending post letters every 20 days or something like that. You need to wait for, and now you have not only the phone but you have everything like WhatsApp or Skype or everything, so you can talk with people every single day, and you have all the translators in your computer or even in your phone, and you have these Google Maps that you can go around any city for anything that you need. Even you don't need a map or knowing the place or asking people or anything like that. So you have really a lot of new things now that we didn't have in the past. It's much easier. Or for example, just taking the flights are not so expensive, and in a couple of hours you are back at home. So yeah, it's not really a problem. So you should try nothing to be worried about. So let me go to look at it, even already set delay 3 and then reset. Hey, what's happening here? Need to reset. First that you can do is maybe meeting with some people, or even you have some friends from Spain and then they are just coming back to their towns, cities and countries, and maybe you can just go there for a couple of weeks meeting with people and then walk around, and you don't really need to, for example, look for a job and then just leaving everything and going to another country for a new year or something like that. But you can go for a few days and just traveling around. As I said, that you can even buy that kind of tickets for train for a week or something like that, so you can just travel for one country, even going with friends. You don't need to go completely alone. But I was going alone for most of the countries. For example, first time I was going to Russia, I was there for 2 months and I was going alone. I didn't have any friend or anything, so I just wanted to be there and then see what is going there. It was fine, but it was I don't know, maybe 13 or 15 countries that I was there. So yeah, cool. For example, Poland is a very quiet place and you don't have any problem there. Well, it's all about the language, but I mean, young people, they can understand more or less English. It's not a problem traveling, and it's not, I don't know, dangerous place like, I don't know, if you are planning to go to Syria or any place like that. So I don't think you have any problem there, and you can travel around. Well, Egypt now, right now, is not so easy because some problem with with terrorism, and also for example Russia, they were just cutting the flights to Egypt, but going to Poland is really easy. If you are going to probably let me know, because I know so far. Why is not calling this one after that? So say this one and delay. Stupid. Not this one, but the instance reset. Okay, so well, having a job is a completely different thing. But I mean, being afraid, not really. As I said, that you can go for a few days only if you want. You don't really need to be, moving everything, take your luggage and then leave your country to try to live in another country or something like that. You can go for a few days, just walking around. Even if you have a few friends, go there for a few days and then you can travel around with them and watching other places and then coming back home. Everything is fine, and keep your job, you have your money, it's fine. But in the future, maybe you have the opportunity to find a job in another place, or even if you don't have, for example, a job, or you are just taking a free time or something like that, you can just go there for a few weeks or months or something like that. And even if you are looking for a job, and there is no a big difference looking for a job in your country or maybe taking another one. So just try. Well, of course, not doing stupid plan like leaving everything and then going to another country. But as you say, you have already a job, so keep your job. It's fine. When you don't have any jobs, you don't have any better plan, then that's the right time to move, or maybe just try. That's an opportunity for you. Let's check again this guy. Yeah, that's the problem, but the one is about the money. So just say, don't do any stupid plans, because well, everybody want to be so free, but we need money, Yeah, this guy is working. Okay, so that's working finally. Yeah, about the Russian, just let me know. This guy is working fine. Okay. Let me try again. Start. I really don't know if there is some official. I mean, you can learn just studying for the universities, like what's the name of this one, like Russian philosophy or something like that, or Slavic studies. I really don't know exactly what the name is, but you have this one, like English philology, and then you have also like Russian or Slavic philology, something like that. Fuck, this guy is not. But I say just this official languages are German, French, English, and in some place maybe you can find like studying from home, university, and then you can study Russian. But I think it's hard. And also, being honest, there are other languages that's much easier. But with Russian, up to you. But I think that you are really losing your time trying to learn Russian at home, or just going for the academy for one hour a week or something like this. You are really losing your time. There is no way to learn Russian like that. And for us, I say it's really difficult language. I know other people that, for example, they were studying different languages and then they were just trying Russian, and that's really hard. And also for me, I was living there already 4 months, studying almost every day, meeting with people there because I was staying alone, so I'm not talking with my roommate or something in my language, so I was just only using Russian the whole day for a few months, and after 4 months I can even make a sentence. So I'm thinking that if I'm doing the same with living 4 months and studying there every single day, if I try to learn, for example, English, after 4 months I can more or less speak, traveling around more or less fine. But even with Russian I cannot even make one single sentence, so you cannot even travel asking people or everything like that, because for us it's completely different language, and not only about the letters, but completely different language sounds and how the language is working. So for us it's really difficult, and just studying a couple of hours a week from home is nothing, you are really losing your time. It's nothing. You will learn much more for 1-2 weeks there than studying 1 year. I was just meeting with some people that were going to the academy in Russia, that they were, for example, studying for a year at home, people from France, for example, and they were studying home for a year, and then they decided to be 1 month during the summer in Russia to learn faster or just use what they were learning. And I can see that after a year they learn nothing, so they can make it sentence, so it means nothing, and they can progress even more in 1 week there in Russia than just 1 year at home, because you are just talking with someone from your country and then using for 1 hour, making some stupid sentence, and after that you go home and forget about this, and you don't really need to use this one until the next week or something like that. So you are really losing your time doing like this. But being in the country is a completely different thing, and then you need to be much faster, so reading and everything. So yeah, it's well, you can start doing that, or just say buy a book, or maybe there are some small there are like a software for learning courses. What's the name of this one? I don't remember. Or even some webs that you can learn some language and meeting with some people and then talking or chatting or things like that. So it can help, there's nothing bad with this, but don't expect any progress after even a year doing like that. You can learn the colors, days of the week, numbers, and so on, but that's all. Even the numbers, I remember I was taking the whole day to learn maybe the first 10 numbers and then try to 100 numbers, something like that. It's so difficult, you forget after 5 seconds, you can't even not remember the word. So yeah. But I say the same, if you are planning to come to Russia or being here, well, let me know, because for sure I can help you. Not only about the place where to be, or maybe people or learning or something like that, but if we are lucky and it's going well, I could just meet at the same time. Hello Isidra, I see that you were following me today or yesterday. Right now I'm using 472, but I was trying already the 418, was working almost fine, everything fine. The only problem I was finding is when I'm trying to convert these blueprints to native, it's giving me some problems with the constructor or the objects and the classes and everything, but it seems something generic, so it's not about my classes, but I think that they are missing something. Even I was checking with this version, and it's generating exactly the same C++ code, so it means that maybe those either for classes or just the constructor, maybe they change something from the engine, because it's exactly the same code that is giving me problems in the new version, but not in the current version. So this is the last one, let's say. I didn't try this preview. Did you try this one? Did you find any problem with this? I was starting like 8 months ago, so the first version I think was 4.14, and I was just moving every new version that is coming. I was just converting the project. Was fine. I have found some problems. I was just fixing a few things, and yeah, but I didn't find a big problem. The only thing is you really need to wait for until it's at least not only the preview but even the first hotfix, because sometimes the first version, let's say for example this 4.18.0 will be fine, but usually I find a lot of problems, so I prefer to wait a bit, and then with the first hotfix or even the second hotfix fine. I do not have any problem with this. For sure, this is 8 months means nothing. Yeah, what? Yeah, as I say with English, maybe it's fine, but not with Russian. Yeah, you see, I'm not moving so fast, because in the end you are just spending a lot of time trying to fix things that in the end they are fixed by them with the engine. So what I do is just trying the version from GitHub from time to time. And sometimes I found that there are some problems with mine, so like maybe not defining anything or just receiving some warning with some things that I'm not doing properly. So it's time to be improving my own project for the next version and not having problems. But usually I have problems. I mean, it's not packaging or something. Well, my English is not good, but people understand me. So it's fine. I don't have any document or legal diploma or anything like that official. That's fine. Get seats. Get copy is valid. The problem with the languages is only with people that they didn't even try to learn any other language. So they think that it's so easy, like, I don't know, you found your diploma on the street walking, so you are so stupid, you are not speaking well, or even you have a problem with some sounds. But anyone that I was just trying to learn a new language or a few words from another language, they can understand you, even if you have a lot of mistakes or you are not even speaking well. It's not really a problem. I don't find any problem with people trying to speak another language. If they are doing well or perfect, this is fine. I don't have any problem. They don't see me so stupid people, you know. Come on. So slow. Why is so slow? Waiting. Okay. So the thing is, this guy should work right now. What's happening now is I try to start the game. Okay. No, I'm not doing. I'm not doing such kind of things. I think my game is keep me busy enough to try a new thing or small things or not really. So no, I'm not doing. I never did. So I'm just doing this one and it's fine. Start game. Also, I should think about any idea of what to do and then spend a few time. Right now I'm trying to finish this really short demo for people trying, at least just performance or something like that. So I hope that I can finish in maybe a couple of weeks, because the short first mission is already done, but there are a few things like this, for example, that this guy is sitting here, not sitting here, and then moving to another place that should be not here, like this guy should be sitting down here when I'm starting, and so on. So there are a few things that are not working, and a few plans that are missing, people and so on. So I'm let's say busy with trying to fix all those small things, but just trying a new game or not much. Also, I'm trying to find a job, looking for a job, so it spends a lot of time also about this. It's not working. Not working. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason that I have here time enough to do things like that. But I'm looking for a job. Already looking for a job. Well, not really. I have been already for more than a month already looking for something, and people is not even calling me back. I don't know the problem. Maybe they are expecting students, something cheaper or something, but they didn't ask me about my salary, so really don't know. And I don't have any problem to go to any other country. I mean, any country in Europe is fine. I was also living in and working in London, for example, the big one. In Lithuania, Latvia, I was living, Poland, Russia, and Spain. There's no problem. Any place that they are calling me, I will move. I would like, of course, to have something about games, of course, but Yeah, usually I expect also something like that, receiving much less salary as should be, but could be fine because I have been for a few time not working already, and I would like to work for some time and maybe meeting with some people. Yeah, that's the problem, that they are looking for a student most of the time. As I think I have already, I don't know, 20 or 25 years experience in many companies and things. So maybe they just check the CV and then decide that it's better to have students. So maybe they think that I will ask for a lot of money or things like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, I would like to work for something with Unreal would be fine. I could do maybe something for Android or C++. I don't know. It's fine. I would like not to do web development. I was doing for so many years already, and it's enough. And I don't want to work with things like doing things for WordPress or things like that. Yeah, but that's the only thing that you have really. I was just checking jobs, and you have 90% of the jobs are just web development, and for example this WordPress or any other content management system, which is, well, it's fine, you know, but monkeys can do that also. So there's no much reason to try to take a job doing this every single day. And also it's not about WordPress, which is fine. I mean, there are a lot of software like that that's much worse than WordPress, which is an API is well done, but the process that you are doing is just changing colors in boxes to provide any, or for example things like PrestaShop, which is much worse all the code than WordPress. But well, you are not doing anything interesting really. Yeah, I was working for many years. Even when I was starting doing websites, WordPress was not there already, and there are a lot of things, like for example now PHP 5 that you have classes from PHP 5, but I was starting with PHP 3, I think, and you have any classes, so it was really a mess with a lot of functions and variables and everything. But yeah, things like Magento, PrestaShop, all of them are exactly the same, and well, it's not the problem with the software, but the project that we are doing with that, which means nothing, you know. Do faster and take the money faster, and that's all. Okay, we have this one. Well, there are hundreds of things really interesting on computers, but if you are trying to do things like 10 years ago, of course it's not interesting. That's true. What's the menu? I'm gonna find where they have this. Yeah, that's the only thing. You do the job, take the money, and take a new client. So they spend most of the time looking for clients because they are not keeping really any business or doing any project. So it's just small project, take the money, a new client, small project, take the money, and so on. So it's not interested at all. And they say, do faster, we are more, you know. It's not about the quality or what are you doing or doing well, or in the future keeping the maintenance or anything. It's nothing. It's just doing faster, take the money, and that's all. Market function, tutorial, main menu. Maybe here. Well, it's a big plus for you, because usually, as I say, like the client was asking about anything, and then you are doing that, take the money, and then the client asks for a new thing, and then even the salesman that is, I don't know, agreeing with the client according what to do. They don't have any idea about computers, so they say yes to everything, and then it's your problem. And for example, they say we will do this or that one in 2 weeks, and they are not even asking you how long it takes, and even if it's possible or not. So it's really doing something that nobody will appreciate, even if you are doing, because the time is already fixed for someone that is not having any idea about this. Yeah, it's there are some companies that is fine, but most of them, all those digital agencies, they're exactly the same. There's no difference between them, and they're just fighting between them to take the clients, and that's all. Yeah, it's what's the makes the difference. People that they know about computers, or just they are salesmen. You know, they are selling software or any other thing. Is not the problem. Yeah. Yeah, most of the companies are really small, so we know the big companies like this Amazon, Google, and everything, but most of them are just 10 guys, 20 guys, not much. Some of them even 5. Okay, what's this? This escape. Input, yes. My menu, they have this. My menu, press, and should be wait. The thing is here. It's F11 escape. Okay, equal. Or boolean well, that's the reason. Don't worry about this. That's the reason I'm doing streamings. I can do the same being alone in my computer, you know. That's not the problem. But I prefer to stay here. Well, talking about the game or talking about computer is fine, or even talking about the language is fine also. I can do exactly the same being alone. I don't need to be on internet. I could even switch off the chat if I don't want to talk with people, you know. That's the reason I'm here. So it's bad that some people is just watching the streaming for 1 hour and they didn't even say, you know, hi, or they don't have any question. you know. So I feel really stupid, like, okay, you are watching this, you are not saying anything, I'm here not saying anything, and well, what's the reason, you know, to be here? What? Okay. Okay. So that's true. True and true. False. Is not playing. Okay. Let's try this. So this one here will be like if you are here and playing, or let's do that, or this is M. It's editor. Why not this one? Okay. Well, I have most of the classes, that base class, are made on C++. Because it's just much better to have, for example, managing the arrays, or I'm just using maps. So it's a std C++. But the thing is, for blueprints, you can modify so fast, you don't need to compile, recompile, or reload, or everything like that. So it's so easy. And for example, in case that you are missing some pointer with C++, it's just crashing, of course. But if you are missing some pointer, or maybe some object is null, blueprint is telling you that it's null with some warning, and then, well, stop working this blueprint. But anyway, you can fix this so easy, and it's not crashing, or for example crashing all the editor, you need to start again, reload and everything. So I use blueprints for a few things. I have a lot of them already. It's so easy to, for example, debug and do things like that, and you don't really need to worry about all the pointers and then the code, and then looking for classes, casting between classes and so on. That you can do that, but it's a bit tedious, and it takes time, and most of the time there is no critical performance about this. For example, I was just doing right now this one, what I was doing here. Just this is true if that is not critical, because when I'm pressing a key, you know, it's just pressing a key, and I don't care about 3 milliseconds or 1 millisecond or something like that, because it's not in the loop for every single frame. It's just press a key, okay, and something happens, for example. So it's not really critical, and also my game is not critical about most of the things. So that's the reason why using blueprint is fine. For performance is fine, but it's not about performance in the final game, because even the blueprints are converted to C++, and then all of them are compiled when you are generating the final X file. So in the end, the blueprints are more or less the same performance as C++, because they are in C++, and then they are compiled with Visual Studio. So the final performance is almost, you cannot see any difference really doing with C++ or doing with blueprint. But the thing is, with blueprints I have the option to debug so fast, and then, for example, I was doing a few of them with blueprints, and then after that, when I see that it's working fine, or it's almost there, it's done, I'm not planning to change anything about this. So I'm just moving to C++, all those code, and remove this blueprint, or even the function that being there, which is working fine, faster and so on. And you don't need to modify this one in case that you are modifying all the time. So it's much easier just to have blueprints that even you can extend classes and everything. I have like maybe 100 blueprints or something like that, or even more. So yeah, I have more files on C++ already, but yeah, the thing is, this is almost exactly the same programming. I mean, what's the difference to having this AND or AND branch if I can write just if or AND, exactly the same in C++. There is not a big difference between them, and this is just calling a class and then return. Okay, I can write return in C++, so it's not really a big difference programming with this one or another one. So it's not about this, and the performance, I say, is fine also. There's no big difference with them, but it's so easy. For example, here I don't really need to go out of the editor or just being with Visual Studio and then compiling and then reloading here the DLL for. It's just, I did not see so fast, so easy for not about performance, but the time that you are spending doing things, and then you can debug so fast, and you can change and then play again, and then you are it's just in a second everything that you were just changing you can check of this, you know, I'm putting some messages on screen and so on. And now, okay, and now this is true, this is true, so this is true, this false, this is true, so it will go on this way. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so yeah, but I would like to be there, but it's faster. So in that case, if you are, well, if you want to use C++, you can use right now, it's fine. If you can start with blueprints, you can start with blueprints. If you want to start with C++, and then you can move already for blueprints. So at any time you can go in any of the other way that you want. You know, this is not a problem for starting with something and then you cannot move. And also, for example, you can do the same with some nodes from blueprints, that you can do the code in C++ and then use this node in blueprints. So it's something both of them are all together. So you can start with one of them or another of them, and so on. It's fine, and there's not any problem even in the future. So you can move to completely C++, or you can leave and move completely to blueprints, or you can use both of them in case that you need. So there's not really a problem for starting with any of them and then move later for something that you really need. So start again. If you don't know C++, or I mean people that are not using C++, they don't know about this, they can start with blueprints, and there is almost it's hard to find something that really cannot do with blueprints at the moment. So you can start with blueprints and not a problem. You can almost finish your game. It's not so complex, or this MMO or something like this that you need to have special network code or a few things that are so complex. So this usually is fine. Usually it's fine if you are using just blueprints. You can do completely your game and not being worried about performance. But if you already know C++, of course you can start doing a few things or just experimenting with very easy, because most of them are completely integrated. So for example, here I can do like a new C++ class, and then just filling with all those boilerplate code, and after that you just recompile, and that's all. You don't really need to write any single line to start doing with a class. Of course this class will be completely empty. I mean, you have read the code, and after that you can, let's say, add one single line and then recompile, and then you have one line. So it's not like you need to write a few classes before you start using them in the editor or blueprint or something like that. So yeah, so you can start with any of them. If you don't know C++, start with blueprint, don't worry about this, because in the future you can use that. If you, for example, even know C++, but you don't know about Unreal, you can start with blueprints, which is much easier. For example, finding what is the node, and instead of looking for a new function or the name of the class or something like that. And you can find also with forums and everything that people is using the blueprint node, so you can see even some things already solved on blueprints, which is so easy. And you can copy and paste blueprint from, there is a website for people selling the blueprints. I don't remember now the name of them. there is a place, because all the blueprints are just text. So when you copy and paste, there are just text that you can even share with people. So you can make your blueprints from just text, you know, or save them and then reuse later in another place, something like that. So the main thing is it's much faster than C++ for debugging and also for prototyping that you want to do things. So in case that you really need C++, it's fine. Do on C++ and then reuse this one, or just a few things. Like for example, I found a bit tedious managing with arrays. That's the main problem, that using arrays is so you need a lot of nodes for things really easy. For example, just doing a loop for all the array to find if some element is already there. For example, for some part of the elements you are using, for example, structures. But it's so easy with C++ using map with the key, you know, and use the key that you really need to search for. So it's so easy to have in C++, for example, managing a map, comparing with a lot of nodes for arrays, or for example all the maths that you need to do, like plus, minus, something, and then divide and everything like that. You need one single node every time they want to do something like that with Blueprint, which is just one single line with all the maths all together in C++. So if you are doing a lot of maths, maybe it's easier just to have C++ code. But as I said, like, you can make Blueprint nodes, or even a Blueprint pure nodes with some maths. So it's really not a problem to have both of them. Let me, for example, something like where do I have this? Something like that, for example. So easy. So for example, this class is completely empty, which is nothing. I mean, there is nothing about the code here, but the parent class is interactive, but this class is C++. So there is no code here, but I could, for example, override the function that I have. I have a few of them, all of them are mine. For example, this execute delay, the get action, they are, or I think something like res or something like that. So I have a few classes that you can extend later from C++, and then I have some code there. But I have also the Blueprint extending the C++ class, so it's easy to have both of them all together. Or for example, if you are using game management, I have here inventory. I think, what is the inventory? Interactive. What is the inventory components? Oh well, it's not here because it's just, what, stupid, silly me. Because you have these C++ classes here. Yeah. So I have a few classes here, and then including. So this is for mission managing, factory, inventory, and so on. So they are component or actors and extending from them. So well, about performance, it's not really critical about the C++ code or the code that you're using or Blueprint and so on, but it's much more about the main thing that you are doing in game engine is rendering. So that's rendering every single frame that you're rendering. Because for example, if you are playing audio or you are trying to do this artificial intelligent behavior for NPCs and so on, everything of that is working, running in another thread. So it's not really making a huge performance problem with the main thread that is just only rendering. So the main thing is rendering is the most important part, and the frames are coming from this one. So what you need to improve, let's say, it is rendering, but this rendering usually is not your code because you are not doing rendering usually, but everything that you have. So for example, using loads for all the messes, or reducing the distance, cool distance for example the station, grass and everything, reducing also the shaders complexity. So you need to improve all the performance on what are you rendering. It's not about your code, but I mean the rendering about all your world or your elements that you are rendering, your shaders complexity, number of trees, draw calls, for example, for all the objects that you are just doing, for example, hierarchical instance and so on, reducing the draw calls, and then the distance for the cool distance for everything, distance when there is not painting, and then for example reducing the shader complexity if it's another model for some load level, something like that. So the main thing is not about code but about rendering. This is the most intensive part of the game engine. So for example, as I say, I have some code here when you are pressing a key. So it's just happening one time when you are pressing and not every single frame that you are painting. So it means trying to improve this code, or for example when you say, I know, that you are watching your inventory, so you need to of course check your loop about all the items that you have in your inventory. Okay, that is happening one single time every time that you check your inventory every 30 seconds, which means you are trying to improve this loop. Means nothing, almost nothing, because it's not a big task that is taking, you know. So the thing is, the code that you are doing is something that is happening from time to time, and it's not critical. For example, if you check, let's say I'm playing here, okay, so I'm playing here, every single time that you see now it is just rendering every single frame, all the houses around, everything that you have here. For example, this guy moving, there's another guy is moving, all the trees, the frog that I have here, you know. But then at any time I click here and I watch my inventory. At the moment I'm just pausing even the game, so the thing that having here all those inventory doesn't matter. Really, if it takes 3 milliseconds or even if it takes 1 second, means nothing. You cannot see anything here like really impacting on your game. But when you come back, everything around you is being painted again and again every single frame. That's the thing that you need to improve. So most of the things that you have or you do with your code, there are some action or things that happen with your world that is not really critical. This is happening a few times, and even it's not a problem if you are opening the inventory so fast or not, because just one single time this means nothing. So that's exactly the same that I was saying with the blueprints, that most of the things that you are doing in your blueprints is not really critical. It's just happening from time to time. The only thing that you could have take care is about those nodes with for example, not this one, but you have this thick, yeah, event tick. This is an event that is happening every single frame. So the thing that you are connecting here should be something faster, you know. This is happening every single frame. With your games you have a lot of actors that they are using this tick event. A lot of things are happening here, and this is happening in the main thread. So in case that you are doing something with your main thread, you are really stopping for being able to paint more frames. So if you are delaying this main thread, you are stopping drawing the next frame, so it's just dropping frame rate. But if you are doing things in another thread, like for example this is with the audio, or maybe behavior for NPCs, or for example you have some code for your network code that is not doing every single frame, but I mean doing from time to time, means nothing. So trying to improve this code makes not a big difference. So that's the thing, that having, for example, blueprints not compiling, or compiling blueprints is not completely different. Well, there's a few different, especially if you are doing big loops with a lot of tasks, and for example a lot of maths and so on. Because in that case not only doing the maths, but calling a new function in C++, and then the heap, and then the stack, and then put there all the values, and then bring back when you return, and so on. So it's just adding a lot of new things that overload that you don't have if you are doing the plain C++ code. So that's the thing, that doing blueprints or compiling blueprints is not a bit different, because the code there is executing a few times and not every single frame. So yeah, so don't be worried about improving performance in just C++ code, you know, in case that you are not doing something really critical or doing every single frame. There's nothing, so nothing that you can improve, because it's just so small percentage comparing with rendering every single frame, that your code or not means nothing, you know, nothing. So not being worried about performance about C++ or your code. That's why I use blueprints, and I don't see any low performance about this. Well, in case that I'm not doing something properly, but I mean most of the time it's fine. There's nothing. So I just move the code, some code to C++ because it's maybe easy to maintain, and I don't really need this blueprint being converted every single time, so I move to C++. But I could keep the blueprints, and I don't see any difference on performance when I'm moving things, you know. So I'm not planning to move everything, just the things that I need, and the rest is fine, you know. But for example, for the grass, for the trees, and everything like that, I was really working a lot to improve the performance for example, the river with the shader, the grass, different things for grass, for shader complexity, and then reducing a lot of repainting pixels and so on. And this one makes a really big difference. Like I was improving maybe 20% or 25% of the performance on the frame rate. So this is huge, you know. Well, it's there are thousands of things that you need to take care of. So yeah, I can tell you all of them, but I mean, I'm not also an expert, but all the things are exactly the same. Well, the tricks are, most of the things is, let me show you with say the complexity. The main thing, as you can see with the trees, is that they have transparent pixels, you know. So that's the thing, that they need to be painted a few times. Every single time with the shader need to paint like transparent, but after that is painting transparent 5 times or 6 times. When, for example, in this case it's not transparent, so it's painted the first time, and the second one is already ignored because there's nothing after that. There's nothing that you need to paint, because you will see only this one. So this pixel is painted only one single time, but this one is transparent, 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 and finally maybe it's grass or something there, or just the rain. So this pixel is being painted 10 times maybe. So that's the risk that having on your screen a few pixels, let's say that you have a few million of pixels. If you paint them already 10 times, you need to paint 10 times more, you know, which is making this one slower and slower. And this is the main problem with the grass also, that they have like transparent pixels. So this is what I was just trying to reduce all of them, and making them less complex, and then cutting down. For example, here you can see the distance here for good distance for the grass, so after some distance you cannot see them, but it's growing if you are going there, and more and more if you are closer, but it's less if you are far from them. So just reducing the number of pixels I need to paint, for example. And if you are going to long distance, for example, there's not a tree, a real tree, but just a plane with this one, it's reduced of course a lot of them to paint, let's say only lightning only. Okay, so you can see what is happening with them so far, that they're just a plane, you know, they're not really trees. So in that case they are reducing a lot. And for example, if I'm going too far, they are even not being painted. Let me go so far, so they disappear, you know, and every time I have less to paint. I see. So that's the thing that you need to improve, all those things about painting less pixels, and then reducing, for example, the complexity of the, let's say again, say the complexity, for example. And I was doing parts of the river, just can you say, like this one is being painted, but this one is some fake, and also this one. So I'm just reducing more and more all the time for all the shades that I need to be reducing number of them, the complexity. So all together is painting less here, less pixels here, no trees, for example, is far, not painting grass also. So in the end you are really painting a lot of less things, and this is what is doing improvements and going faster painting. Also the draw calls and everything. Well, this is fine. That's the reason I am here. If maybe what I was just finding is useful for any other, you know, like user, and they don't need really check this or spend all the time trying to find all those things. And I was just watching also streamings or videos on everything that people was explaining this, and then I was just learning, you know. So it's fine telling to others what I was just finding or reading on internet, because it's not my idea. I mean, it's just right there. So that's why when you are just watching here, for example, you cannot see any difference with the trees, but if you are going closer, you see that they pop up on real trees, you know, and not just plain. And for example, here you see also the shade for the river, how it's changing from something very expensive to something cheaper. But it's just not a big difference from the distance, but it's a big difference for performance. And you have also all the loads. So here loads. So you have white for load 0, and then you have colors like green, blue, yellow, violet, and I don't remember, pink, I think, I don't know. So when you are going far from this one, change the colors means it is changing the load that you are using, so there are less trees to paint for things with less details. Well, of course. Oh, let me add here for here. Yeah, forget about this completely. The links for people. I forgot all the time. I should maybe use a bot that is writing all the links from time to time. Well, yeah, but I'm there most of the time. But you can ask even here, because I'm streaming every day, every single day I'm streaming. So you can ask here, or maybe in the Discord channel is fine, of course, with pleasure. So you can see all the different colors for popping between different resolutions for things, you know. So this is having more or less resolution, triangles, and everything like that. Well, no worries. I will be maybe for 30 minutes more, I think. This is late here. I think 1 hour more than you, so that will be maybe 30 minutes. After that, of course, I will be also in Discord if you want, or tomorrow at any time. It's fine. Anyway, thank you for coming, and I hope that we can discuss about Russian next time. Maybe I can help you with some things. Yeah, I will keep this one open maybe. I didn't do that. Yeah, this is one. Thank you for coming. No worries. You can ask me anything that you have in your mind. Good afternoon. See you. Bye bye. Okay, for the rest of the people here still, if you have any question or something you would like to see from the game, just let me know. Right now we'll try to fix this guy. That's for some reason when I start the game is just resetting the plan that I have, and for some reason it seems not working. Probably I really don't know what the problem is. So let's try again. Where's my still opening? Okay. 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 Come on. It's taking so long to start. Okay. So this guy should be there working. Okay, that's working fine. Yeah. Let's reset. Start again. Let's check if the guy is there. Okay, again it's not working. The main problem that I have is that everything in the game when you are resting, starting the game is resting everything, like for example locking all the doors and then starting the plans again for every single NPCs, and resetting everything like markets and vaults and everything like that. And since that when the plans are starting already, you are for example modifying a few variables that you have, and then resting them is not coming back to the same plan that it was in the past. So it's like keeping the stage for everything that I was doing, and then it's not resetting everything as it should be. And the problem is this guy should reset this one with the plan is fine, but also about the dialogue that I was talking with this here. Let me see. The dialogue. After I did the dialogue, this one is modified, so should be ready to go. Okay, I need to override this reset. Reset should be here, and also this set go ready to go home. Yeah, this one should be ready. This is one of the things that I have with the state of this guy. Not sure there is any other thing that is being modified. For example, those buildings are being unlocked, so I should also log back when here. Okay, the reset. I will try to log back. Log again. The door that maybe is open already, so should be lock. No, lock. No, in that case is, let me see, unlock and okay, new function. Okay, lock door. Okay, so now do I have something like lock all doors? Yeah, I have. So I don't need this one. Yeah, force is fine. So I don't need this one. Let's try again. It is opening still. Okay. I think there's also probably the okay, go. So why this guy is under the terrain? Okay. Okay, blah blah blah. That's all. And then reset. Yeah, there's also problem here with this guy. Only this one, or maybe there are another one. What the hell? This guy is leaving. So it means... yeah, it's also the same with another guy. The door is locked, so it's fine. But why? Let me see. Blank. What is blank here? Blank. The blank is sit here. And then 1 minute. Then wake up and so on. So ready to go home is false. Should go here. If this one is being executed. So this one is saying execute. I think this one is done, and this one, what about this? I know this one. This it. Okay, track the execute blank. Parent reset. What is this? Yeah, it should be girl. Hey, Tishonian, I have my microphone today, so you can listen my English. How's it going? I didn't see you for a few days. This guy is not working at all. Yeah. Okay. Let's add some messy. Oh, that's great. You're lucky. I'm looking for a job also. I didn't find anything at the time. How's it going with the new job? Are you enjoying it? Do you like it? Yeah, well, everyone in this job will at least have some income coming every month, and not big worry about this anymore. I'm feeling like you are doing something, not just being at home all the day and you don't feel yourself useful. That's my main concern right now. Looking for something to earn some money. Yeah, so I was also spending almost half of the day just looking for a job or something. So I'm streaming still every single day, but yeah, spending much more time. In the past I was doing or working more in the game, but now I don't have much time. So I'm doing the streamings and maybe a few hours also fixing things that are not so interesting when you are on streaming. So I would like to earn some money to buy maybe some tools like this Wixel Mega Scam or something that people was telling me about this mockups, motion capture with exhaust. I think that is the cheapest one, and they say it works well. Yeah, I hope. I mean, even I was thinking that before I'm ending it, just trying to take some money and when people can help me with, for example, with those things like buying some tools or some subscription for Sustan Painter or things like that before ending, so people is enjoying. Okay, start the game. Resting helper, it's fine. Yeah, because if I'm just waiting for the very last day to sell them, and I don't think that I will sell a lot of them, even though the price will be like 5 euros or 10 euros, something like that. Yeah, I was thinking also selling this at the moment because it was the formula that was working for most of the people, like selling all the assets in the time that you are doing the game. With those assets that you are selling, you are taking some money, you can make your game. So people was like, this is the main plan, doing assets a lot of them and selling them. In the meantime you are earning some money from the assets, not from the game but from the assets. This money you can invest on making your game. So this is a easy plan that a lot of people was already doing that, but I don't have much assets and they are also quite pretty simple, not so, because I'm not 3D artist, so this is fine for me. I mean, they work for me, but selling them, not sure if could be maybe sell all of them, or just for 5 euros I can sell a few houses or some rocks, things like that. So I don't think that maybe, I don't know how much could I earn with this. So for example, if I have maybe weapons or my character or something like that, could be, but in my case they're not really nice, so I don't think that could be enough for me with this money. So at the moment I'm just doing, and we'll see what's happening in the future. If I can continue with this one, it's fine. If not, maybe I will just stop for a few time while I'm doing things and then continue later. For sure, one of the things that I really want to have this Quixel Mega Scan to change. Fuck, this guy is not working again. Yeah, that's the thing, that I'm just not buying anything, just keeping until I have some money. But I would like to have this Quixel Mega Scan for the range changing, for undergrounds, that there are a lot of things that should be done. Why this guy is not working now? Okay. So yeah, I think I will try some maybe pattern in the future, because I have I do almost every day or every 2-3 days I do some daily build to be sure that it's compiling, everything's working, it's not broken. So I'm doing quite often, and I did some automatic, almost everything is automatic, so even uploading to the server, so you can download there. but of course there are some problems with bandwidth in the server. So I was planning maybe in the future like some Patreon and give to the people the opportunity to download all those nightly builds. So people that, for example, they were just checking something on my stream that I was doing, maybe in the evening, and just giving them the option that they can try this. If people could be maybe paying for that, could be fine, you know. So just giving something, because just the promise that in the future, after a few years, you will have the game for free, you know, means nothing, or should be. It's so risky. Like, people want to try something right now, you know, not in a few years when it's finished, if it's finished. So that's one of the ideas that I have. Okay, this one, helper, what is this guy? So this is the plan, and also should be set enable. Could be now should work. What is happening here? Sorry. Yeah, exactly. It's not about that they are so valuable or expensive or not. It's just like if you do something, you know, it has some value. Just for free means they're so bad, you know. And the main problem right now is I don't think that it will be so popular, but I don't want to see any other games. Maybe there are some city games using the same assets that I was just doing, because it, at the same time means my game is another bad copy of the something that is bad, you know. So I'm trying to keep just only for me at the moment, and I don't have really a lot of them. I have maybe like 100 or things like that, so it's not really a lot. But if I can keep this one, I will keep this. You know, in the future, if it's not possible, there's no, I don't see any other option than just selling the assets to continue with the game or something. Well, then I will do. Okay, let's try again. But at the moment, yeah, I'm trying to finish the demo. Even I was just doing really small mission, just like testing for people, doing that, and it's already finished. So those 3 steps that I was just thinking about, I was just trying. This is working, and in the end, I just put in some message like you finished this one, and I'm just fixing a few problems that I'm having with some NPCs, the plans not working well, and yeah, fixing a few things and adding a few details that I would like to have. So I hope that I can have this one in a couple of weeks. The main thing is the user interface is almost missing completely, so I need to work on it, but it's Photoshop more than just in game. So after that, I think that more or less everything's working, because I was just checking the mechanics and the sequence for doing the main steps and how you can earn some money and then selling, buying, and things like that. And everything's working. I was doing, of course, using some debug keys for speed and everything to check faster, but everything's working, so people could be already play this small test demo, which is a small mission, maybe stupid mission that I will remove later. And I don't think that it will keep this one, but I mean, a few steps and people can try this. And most of the things that I would like to have some feedback from people just trying this and say, is just it, or it's so slow, or this fast, or I don't like this one, things like that, because I don't want to repeat 100 times something that is not nice. So it could be fine if you have one, you try, you see, and say it's not the right way to go. Okay, it's fine, I will change this, but now that I did a few of them, not really 100 of them. So that's the main thing, is not entertainment for people, but having some feedback about what I was doing. And that's why I was telling you, like, I will be providing only for people on Discord, just because Of course, another people could take this one. It will be for free, of course. But I mean, people that is coming for today and say, "Oh, I like this graphic. I want to play this game." Okay, I will provide you this demo, and then you think that it's almost finished or something like that. But people from Discord, they're following me. They know that it's not finished at all. Even it's not a demo or even alpha or something like that. That's just mainly build that I would like to try. So that's the right people to have testing this one, that they know what is exactly this. But just putting some link on the web and everybody's trying is not exactly the same. So that's why I would like to have only for close people, and I will do in Discord only at the moment. If it's not enough people there, well, maybe I will put some Twitter saying who wants to join or something like that. I would like to have also the information about which computer is people using. I mean, RAM, and what's the GPU using, and also what's the frame rate that they can read, and so on, things like that. So yeah, this is mainly for feedback about what I'm doing. Man, again, this guy is here. It's not working. I'm forgot about this guy. Start the game. So the main thing, for example, here is the user interface almost empty. All those things are for testing, nothing. And then, for example, this bar is not working because I didn't do that. I didn't do that yet, so that's the reason it's not working. And a few things like all the actions and progress bars and everything. I'm missing everything. Yeah, I have only 2 guys that they were trying this. Now it's fine. Yeah, right now it's awful. It's not. I mean, it's nice with this one, but when you have some items here, it's really not nice. Half of them, this bar should be working and not being a number, and then both of them are the hands for the guy. The mission, I could use maybe half of them. In the future, I need some space for the skill trees that I'm working. This is for debugging only, so it's nothing about the game that I need to remove. Yeah, things like that. So I need to put more things, much easier, nicer than everything. And for example, all the action like this one was like, oh man, and now it's not working again. The action that you can do with things that are not really nice, all the icons and everything. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I will keep this style, which is fine, but I need to do a lot of things. For example, the menu, all the icons. I don't have any option that it will be in the future for options for performance, so on. So talking about people that they were using, there are 2 guys that they were using. They have the GPU 9070, this NVIDIA, and they were trying, and they report like 110, 130, 150 even frames, which is really a lot of them. So I don't really need so much. And I was working from some time, and I was improving even on this one. So I hope that now it's even faster, because in the past I have like 20-30 my laptop, and now I can reach almost 40 sometimes, and I keep almost 30 most of the time in the map. Right now you can see 15 because it's just kept on. I have limited on 15 when I'm just developing, and also for example here having streamings and so on, so I don't want to have the maximum frame rate that I have, so I have limited to 15 even in game, or the editor also, so it's not like the real frame that I have right now in the game. But I mean, it's just for testing. I could do something like that. As you can see that this is exactly exactly saying 15, it's just limited. So well, in my computer it's working 30, even more, almost 40, but I'm talking about my laptop that have the integrated GPU one's really bad. So I say that people having like a proper GPU for NVIDIA, having a computer and not notebook, they report they have more than 100 frames per second. So yeah, so for sure, I don't know which computer are you using, but you have something not really old, like I don't know, 5 or 10 years old, it should work well, like 100 frames per second on the map, even in the forest. And there are some places that you don't have much to to render or something. You should have like 150, I think. Talking about full HD, I mean. So in case of, for example, here, let me try right now. Try settings. This guy is not working. I hate this guy already. General settings. So here is just limit to 15, but if I'm doing right now here, so I have around 60, having also the streaming, and this is the editor, so it's not the best place for checking the performance. And also, for example, I don't have this cool content for Windows and so on, that is also improving the performance. But you can see here that I have like 30-40, but this is my computer. As I said, like at least you should have more than 100. I'm completely sure that you have normal computer for games, or even not for games, but just having a GPU that is not so old or something like that should have much better. Here I am using the editor, I'm streaming also now, and my computer is taking more or less this one for Full HD, so I don't expect arrive to even 40, but this is my computer. I was just trying games that people were selling, and usually I can run around 13. Sometimes if you are trying to, or maybe doing some combat, I can have like 8 frames per second in a already professional computer that they are selling. So I cannot play any game. I mean, it's so bad, my computer, that I cannot play any game. But that's all, Well, I don't exactly, I know yours, but I don't know exactly what performance you will have with this one, but I'm completely sure that you will have 60. For sure, you will have 60. And well, right now I'm using the one with without VSync, just to see the maximum that you can do. But if you are activating this one, you will have 60 all the time. You cannot feel like dropping or something. Well, so in that case, I'm using 15 just to also not burn in my computer. Being a laptop also is not so easy to keep cool, I hope you can try soon when everything on a few bugs like this are solved. And we'll see what's the performance for you. Should be fine. Resetting helper here and resetting this guy. I forgot about this, of course. We're just removing and then set enable. And also, for example, about the texture streaming and everything, I was just keeping really low for yeah, all those games. For example, I really didn't try, but I'm sure I cannot take more than maybe 15 for me, even less. So I'm really not playing any game because it doesn't worth. You cannot really play anything. It's just everything is so slow. And for example, as I say, with combat or something, you are like watching frames, not really any action. So yeah, I'm not playing anything. I cannot play anything. Any game, like a professional game that is already finished and so on, because my laptop is fine. It's just for working, making some documents, compiling code or something like that, but it's fine. It's not a computer for playing, or as I said, bringing a laptop, this is a problem that so fast is burning, and then your GPU, since that's so hot, and then it's just dropping frames to keep cool, and then when I install, for example, I have around 40, but after a couple of minutes it's just falling down to 30, and then if I'm keeping, I have no more than 25, you know. But if I close this one and then restart again, I have again 40. So yeah, no plan to play anything. It's just wasting time. In the meantime, I cannot play, so I can make games, you know. But I keep all the engines always to 15, so people think that this is the final performance of the game, but it's not really. It's just I'm keeping this one. Well, my computer, I understand that it's not for making games. I have 8 GB of RAM also, which is a problem always, and my hard drive is so slow also. Look, I'm not just joking. It's like, okay, this is my RAM, this is my hard drive, and you can see it is going 4 MB a second. Exactly. 8 ones mean 8 unos mean 8 ones, which is in 1 byte you have 8 bits, and if you put all of them in one, this is the maximum information that you can store there. So 8 unos means 1 byte with full information. That's all. Look at my computer. 2 MB a second, 1 MB a second. This is a hard drive, and this is my RAM. So it's almost impossible to do anything more. That's fine. So that's the maximum that. Yeah, this is almost the maximum that I can do. So the game is not so big and will be not growing a lot. And for example, if I'm doing a lot of things, I need to improve performance, or anyway I cannot use it. So yeah, for sure it will work in low computers. So for example, with all the textures, I'm not using 4 key, and just all of them are 1 key, and then using tile level textures, and then using decals to reduce the number of RAM that I'm using. So it's not only about frames that you will be running so fast, but also about the textures, pool for example, that I'm not using a lot. Okay, so this guy is already there. Let's start game. I hope that in the future I can buy a normal computer, not a laptop, but I was moving a lot in the last time, so it's much useful to have a laptop. Even when I was buying this one, it's just only maybe 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, not so old, but at the time that I was buying, I thought that was much better to have a laptop because I'm moving. Otherwise, I will not have a computer, or I need to renting or something. Okay, this guy is again going inside and is even not enabled. Okay. So yeah, in the future, I hope that I can buy a normal computer as everyone, because it's not so expensive, or I mean, was maybe cheaper than this laptop. But a laptop was useful for me. I was thinking also to buy some second hand. This is fine. Could be cheaper. So this guy is enable when resting helper. The guy is resetting. The laptop is expensive compared with a normal computer. Laptops, of course, because you have the screen already, and then you need to have all together in small space, and yeah, but it's much useful. As I said, if I'm moving or just changing my country or something like that, it's much easier to have my laptop, have computer all the time. I have all my things all together. I don't need to keep maybe some hard drive and moving and then finding a new computer in a new place and then installing everything and so on. So it's fine to have my own computer and then just moving with this one. But yeah, in the future I was using laptop for I don't know many years already. I think the last one that I have was like maybe 7 or 8 years, and then this new one is 2 or 3 years already. So yeah, I was using laptops for at least 10 years, maybe more. But it's fine, it works. It's not a big problem. The only problem that I have is this one, for example, that the heart rate is so slow, really slow, and the RAM is almost full all the time. But yeah, but it's fine. It works. I mean, it works. Could be faster, but it works. The problem is if I cannot use this one, if my RAM is not enough to start Unreal, for example, this is a problem. But just being slow, or I say like working at 15 frames, it's fine. It's fine. Could be nice to have 30 or even 60. It's fine, but it works. It works. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, exactly. It works. You don't really need much more. It's nicer to have, of course, I understand, but it's fine. Resting helper. The thing is, resting this one also or not. So this is executing the plan only. Should be right home here. Should be fine. I had the problem with one blueprint that was maybe not working well for some reason, and then it was just growing and then eating all my RAM, and that at that point it was really not working, and I can do almost nothing. My browser was just removing tabs, and then I cannot open Visual Studio or any other thing because it's just eating completely my RAM. And then I was just reviewing this one. I found where the problem was, and then it was just refactoring completely, making a new one, and then again it's working fine for the RAM, but it was a problem. I don't have any RAM to do anything, and then was a problem when just click and play was not working well. So as far as everything is working, slow or not, of course it's not nice, but it works, and it's not blocking completely, not blocking me to stop into the things. So yeah, at the moment it's fine, it works, and I have it's moving. Why this guy is going there? The problem is here. Why this guy is here and then it's going here? Or maybe it's going to this one, to the next plan, because this place is now should be false. Cotton seed enable should be true. Sitting down, it's going to the next plan. It's out here something. And then okay, the problem is it's working fine in the editor but not working well when you are trying to stand alone. So that's why I need to play again every single time, and it's not working with the editor, because it's just about the time that it takes time to loading, or I don't know, some sequence that is not doing at the same time. So that's why I need to do all those stupid things. Now easy to find where the problem is, because just I need to restart every time. New ping, get current seed, and then get enable. and also it's starting game starting quite far when you're walking, and then so lazy to change this one and then back. And okay, so I'm just playing. Okay, let's see now if this guy is okay. Say oh wait, say all. Yeah, it's fine. It's working. It's working in the editor. Perfectly working in the editor. And then when because my main problem is everything in the world is working fine, but every time that you click start, you need to reset everything. So every single NPC have reset, and all the plants have reset, and then all the houses have reset. Like for example, closing the doors or windows and everything like that. And almost everything in the world has reset to start completely the game. For example, this resource area, they are dropping again all the items that need to have, and the doors are being closed, the markets are resting, and the boats are resting to the initial value, and all the NPCs are resting to the initial position, initial plan, and changing all the values that they were just changing for the world, like sun state or being houses and things like that. So that's the problem is resting is not really resting for some reason. So that's why first time it's working fine, but after that if you reset, for example here I was just changing the state of this guy and changing the state of a house after this dialogue. So this guy now is ready to go home, let's say, but not before. When you're starting, you need to sit here and wait until something happens with the conversation. After that, this guy can go home. So if I'm resetting the game again, yeah, this one is not happening. Okay, so the new message I was just adding. So this is resting everything. This guy should be again waking up and then sitting in this place, but you're not able to go home because I didn't have this conversation at all at the moment. If it's completely new, so there's nothing able to go home. But when I arrive here, this guy already went home, you know. So this guy went home already. So for the plans, for some reason, the plans are, because the main plan is go to this place, go to the location, okay, it's fine, and then sit there if you are not ready to go home, which would be fine, and then sit there all the time. And for this sit event, there are a few conditions that should be, you know, canceling this one, because it's the conditions that's being there, like being enabled and everything. So I was just adding this message that was not even shown, so it means was not here, and then everything since is fine, resting fine. But anyway, this guy is going here, ignoring to be sitting there, and then going to the next plan that is like wake up, but wake up is not sitting there, so ignoring, and then the next plan is going to this location. This is just the next plan that is doing this guy, so it's ignoring being sitting there until something happens. So that's the thing that should be, and I really don't know what the problem is. The resetting everything, like the guy, and resetting the plan, and resetting the empty, everything, all the values that should be have, it's fine, but it's not up in there. Next time, just going there and then leaving. The problem is, I don't know exactly what's happening, because my let's start play start here, play start, go there, no, come on, okay. So let's see where my players start here. Okay, this is the diesel value, and then I need to walk all of them. So okay, let's add a new one to be there. Welcome player, welcome. Okay, let's add here some player start, and then we will try to start here to see what is exactly happening with this guy. Player start test, and then we will use this one. Maybe we can see what is happening when this one is starting, if we start already in this place. So I was also doing a few more NPCs that have some conversation, and then you can sell them some items. So this is one of the way to earn some money when you're starting, because you don't have any home garden where to work, and then you don't have any experience or anything. So there's like collecting items on in the forest, and then selling in the market, or selling to some NPCs, and after that you are progressing in the story. So there are other NPCs that are working fine. Okay, start. We are here ready. Okay, this guy is sitting here. Let's start. Okay, all the conversation. That's fine. Then let's restart game and see what is happening. This guy is here. But maybe, well, could be fine, but right now it's just collecting wood and stones. I will show you. Actually here I don't want to have. Okay, so I see the problem is this one is sitting there, and then after some time it's sleeping. So it should be maybe about this blank 60 seconds there, or just sitting there after something happens. I think that the problem is those delay, in case that is not being cancelled. Okay, I think I found where the problem is, because I have some delays and select viewport. I have some delays, and since they are not cancelling the delays, when there's coming from the delay is continuing this one and not just discarding for this one. So I will show you about these resource areas. For example, here on the right is something easy to find. Should be easy to find. Well, okay, so you have here stone, you have here wood to pick up, and should be more. Okay, you can see picking up things like that, items, and then in your inventory you see you have ready to stone, to wood, and then you can sell them. And here in front you have also, I think here in the forest, probably, yeah, this is not working perfectly, but it works, and should find more. Of course, it's something tedious that you need to do, walking around trying to find things, but it's something that initially, when you don't have any other option to do, you know, you're doing that. So initially the progress is not so fast, like you need to spend a lot of time walking around, and because the main thing is you have a story to follow, but of course it's things that you need to do, and all those things are helping you, but at the same time they're stopping you to just go astray and do everything that you need to do. So it's like you have a few tasks to do all the time, and then stopping, and then to produce something, or for example to buy something you need to some money coins, and then you need to do kind of side missions, but they are not side missions, but there's a few steps to manage the thing. So okay, so let's say I have 8 and 5, and then I could go to the market to try to sell this. And there's some money. So initially I have like 100, which is fine, but I mean I can sell them. So after that I have collected already 18 new coins for things like that, you know. And then you can work on the forest and work in home gardens and earn some money already. And this guy is already here, but should be also, there is a guy here, but this plan is not finished, so I will try to start here. What it says, nowhere update action manager. What's this? From, yeah, this one is not nice. That's not the way. This one should be okay. Let me show you also this new guy. Where's this guy? Oh, sorry. This is the guy. So let's try to talk with this guy. Okay. So I need some money. Okay. Then you can just bring me some wood, and then after that, in case that you have this one, okay, but he's leaving. Okay, I have some wood. Okay, I need 20. Okay, sell this one. I don't have 20 already. He knows. Was just checking that I don't have 20. If I have 20, I could just sell them and give me like 5 coins, something like that. So there's another way to collect money. And for example here, initially you want to work here in this farm, you need to find this guy, and then with this guy you need to agree with the tax and so on. So there are a few steps that you need to do, and also you need some tools to work on it, but to have tools you need to buy tools, to buy tools you need money, and you need money you need to maybe collect something from the forest and so on. So it's like small tasks initially that you know you need to do, and most of the things have some requirements, but this one just collecting wood from the forest, you don't have any requirement, you don't need any tool and you don't need anything, just something that you can do in the very first moment in the game. So it's not something that you need to do every single time in your game, but there are some resources that you can take, some options that you can take initially. After some time, when you have already maybe some tools, or you can find any other way to earn money, you don't need to do that all the time. But yeah, it's just something that is there if you need it. Well, 2 hours and a half streaming. I think I will finish here. Do you want to say something, or do you have any question or anything, or any of you? If not, I think I will finish with slide here already, and I will come of course tomorrow with more things. I will fix those problems with delays and everything, because I need to be something I don't know, need to think about how to solve this. It is nice and not a lot of code or something strange, but I will do out of the camera, is fine. And maybe working also in the user interface. I was already working with a woman. I have a woman, but not finished with all the. I have also problem with the animations. I was doing what I was doing also this week. I don't remember. I was doing yesterday, but I have this. This is a card here. Let me. So what is there? What I was doing yesterday was this one. This small card. You can see this card here also. Messes environment, I think. Yeah, that's the card. Yeah, that's the small card, and I was doing completely from the stream yesterday. I think I forgot to put this video on YouTube. I will do right now, I think. So I was just modeling everything in the streaming, and then I was just adding this one with some place, maybe not here, maybe another place, but I was just doing also the texturing and the UV, and I was doing also the proxies and so on. So there are some videos doing this one. So I was doing this one yesterday. It won't, because there are some people interested more on modeling, other people maybe doing some blueprints, and other maybe only about level design. And yeah, I'm not sure if you have seen also this one. I also did during streaming this week. I have and I think I've already on. Yeah, this is one. This is the one for. So it was, let me see, 20, well, maybe 1 week already, and this was yesterday. So there are another picture there. There you can see. But the video, I think I forgot yesterday to put the video, because I need to put like this miniature and then some description and so on. So I need to do that, and I think I didn't do yesterday. Also in the morning I was also streaming, but I have a power outage, so I was just cutting in the middle of nowhere the streaming, and then I don't have the possibility to come back again to the streaming after maybe 1 hour more. And I don't think I will put this video, because it's just well, you can find on Twitch, because Twitch is keeping all of them, but I will not put on YouTube, I think, because it's nothing to see. And cards, I have more cards that I was doing. Well, this one is so easy also. This is 303, so it means nothing, but I was also doing during streaming, so you can see this one on 24th, I think, that I did. So this video is already on YouTube if you want to check this. And I have more cards, I don't remember where, maybe perhaps here. Yeah, I have 3, this one, and I have also this one, and I have the third one, this one. And I did all of them also on streaming, but it was maybe from March or something like this. I don't really remember, it was really far from YouTube. I don't know, should check. I don't know what is this. So I mean, not for this week, but something really far. And then this last one that you have seen, yes, this one was yesterday, but let me see. Yeah, this one. So in this streaming there was I did win 8 months ago. So yeah, maybe it's not March, maybe it's January or February. And in this video I was doing the 3 cards all together in some one video for 2 hours. So this is only modeling at this time. I don't have any level with Unreal Engine, because I was just doing, as you see, only the model. So it's just modeling on Blender. I don't have even Unreal Engine on such streamings. But the last one, as I said, like this one from, I think from yesterday, just I didn't do that for yesterday, was this card. I will add maybe in 10 minutes after that. After this streaming I will just create a small picture and put some description and then making this public. So I will do in a while, and you can check if you want how just modeling was really nothing fancy or complex. I mean just boxes more or less, and yeah, something. And then I was just displacing all of them, not being so perfect. Everything is squares or something like that. So I was just moving a bit of things, doing some imperfections, like for example this one, or for example the size of them are not exactly the same here. So yeah, something that is not so nice. And for example here also you can see there are a few different of them, so not everything is a perfect square. Or this one is also being not perfect. And the textures are exactly the same texture for everything, and it's just one single with tiling. And this one is this one, and this is just this texture. It's nothing really impressive with texture, which is one key, as you can see here. So it's really not much, and then it's just duplicating all of them. At the time I don't have any load, so this one I didn't do that, the load, because usually it's just it's boring. So I do the main model first time, and then after that I'm just doing the loads out of the camera. I will do later or something, so it's fine. Well, I was working with loads for one of them, I think. Let me, yeah, this video was loads for one of the cards. I not remember well what was there, but probably was something with something maybe modeling, doing the load, and after that just working with the distance for every load, and then adjusting what is the right one. And then maybe I was also adding those kind of displacement for things not being completely perfect, like any model made with computers. But you can see all the textures are exactly the same, all of them. I have only 2 different wood textures, but all of them are being repeated. So yeah, even for this one, that one, all of them are exactly the same. This one is exactly the same, but I'm using decals to do something dirty things, so it's fine. Yeah, and everything is exactly the same, with the same textures and also the same decals and everything. So that's what I say also, that as you can see the same one that also the texture streaming is really low for the game. One key, it's using 600 kilobytes for example. For this one I have a few of them, but not really a lot. So yeah, So that's it's helping because you are texturing so fast, and also at the same time all of them are almost the same, so the same color, the same style, and all the levels working fine with the same, let's say, the same textures, not having a lot of them, and also not spending a lot of time making special texture for every single model that I have or something. So that is fine. Okay, so I will leave the streaming right now, and I will add the video, not this one, the streaming that I'm doing, because YouTube needs some time to process this video, so it will take maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But the video that I was doing yesterday, I will put in 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason, that having not much textures and not every single texture like 4 key or 2 keys for everything, but having a few of them so small that you are repeating and then just scaling depending on the model or something. You have only a few of them, you load them, and that's all. Even next models are using the same texture, so you don't really need to again loading a new texture and so on. And also, for example, my GPU card is not so powerful, and also I don't have like maybe 1 GB for textures, which is not really a lot. You need to use, for example, those MIP maps and different versions of them, and also all of them need to be uncompressed on memory for access, so you can really fill all of them with a few big textures. So that's the reason that keeping down not much, I can keep enough space in my GPU for the textures, and then I'm not even using my hard drive. This is my main problem, that being working like 5 megabytes per second means like a texture with 80 megabytes, things like that, takes maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds to load in my computer, you know. So it's really not like feel something like dropping frame rates, but really waiting for 5 seconds or 10 seconds until you have the textures, you know. So even texture streaming, so that's why I was trying to use only a few of them, small them, and reuse all the time. So that's the way. And I have almost everything is the same texture. For example, this blaster is all of them the same. I have like 6 or 7 decals that I are using all of them at the same time. I have only two different roofs, all the time using 2 different for wood, and then one for the grass, and another one, this is the mood, and yeah, a few of them. There are all of them all the time. And for example, the rocks is only one, and then I'm using decals, or using, for example, shaders to matching between them. So yeah, this one is also the same. There's another one with displacement and so on, small rocks, and for example all those decals that I are using are the same that I'm using on the houses. All of them are using exactly the same, all of them. There are only 2 of them, you know, everything is almost the same. So yeah, decals, and using exactly the same all the time. Of course there are a lot of them, but yeah, but being reduced. So yeah, that's the way that is for sure taking not much to load, rendering well, there's no popping all the time with, for example, textures and everything, because it's just not much. And my game is really, being honest, is small. The map is so small at the moment, and there's not much things to do, and a few NPCs, but there's not hundreds of them, and the map is small. The houses are being repeated because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 models that are repeating all the time. Well, 5 with this one. This is 6, 7. So yeah, a few models only, not really a lot of things. And for example, all the market are repeating all the time with a few assets. So yeah, nothing so big like comparing with other games. Mine is small. Okay, I'm leaving. If any of you want to talk more about this, you know, I have this Discord channel. I will put here all the links again in case that someone is missing. We can talk at any time. If not, I'm leaving. Thank you, Sony, for coming. We will talk soon. I know where to find you. Thank you everyone for coming. See you next time. Bye bye.